Alright, I think I need something a little bit more relaxing after this. Who do I want to play as? I want to play as Alien. Trying to think. What gun do we even want? I don't even know. That is the gun we want. Alright. This hopefully is going to be a very fun run. I just had one of the more stressful runs ever of Cavern Kings, and I absolutely need just kind of one of those nice days. One of those nice games where it's just like, no TNT sling, maybe kinetic fist. I might actually be able to deal with that there. But that was just, that was just rough. 3 cursed items, no decurse scrolls. Like, I totally would have been okay with it if I'd, like, squandered my decurse scrolls like a moron. But did not. No such luck. Oh, not the end of the world either. I'm trying to not fire myself off, but scratch my nose while we're here. Unfortunately, I play so many, like, fairly intense games, so it's like, alright, let me go down this hole. Alright, I wanna, like, keep playing, but man, like, just the basic bodily comforts. Somebody yesterday pointed out that they could hear me scratching my beard, and I don't disagree with them. It is audible. I have a beard enough at this point that is audible to scratch. I was, like, kind of growing a beard earlier, but it wasn't, like, a super serious beard. Now it's, like, actually getting to be a serious beard for whatever reason. Unfortunately, they're, like, for whatever reason, I have, like, a bald spot. As weird as that sounds, on my chin. Below my chin, really. So we don't, like, okay, time to leave. So, like, luckily, the bald spot is, like, not male pattern baldness so much as just I don't grow hair there for some mysterious reason. But the neat thing about it is it's, like, right below the cleft on my chin. So, obviously, if you're trying to grow a beard, not at all in the way. So what this means is I will never have to worry about looking like a neckbeard purely because I can't grow hair there. I can be a complete beard man, but I will never look like a neckbeard, which is nice. Because I knew a lot of neckbeards, and it was nice to be... I can effectively disguise myself against, you know, the common nerd by just being a regular nerd. It's awesome. Well, I mean, or, you know, just, I don't know, Midwestern mountain man? I guess that doesn't really work. Most of the Midwest is fairly flat. It's kind of like, it's kind of where you get close to the coast, where you really start running into the mountains again. Midwest is flat. I mean, I'm not exactly going to say Western New York is Midwest at all. Man, that place is flat. Minnesota, even more so. We actually had to drive to find any kind of elevation, just so we could get above the tree line to look at the stars at one point. Though in the reality of the situation is you might as well just go out into a basic field and it's like, alright, we can see the stars regardless because there's like jack all around here, which is nice. Anyway, oh man. I don't want to be a neckbeard, that'd be weird. My brother was one for a while actually. Well, no, he wasn't a neckbeard, he just had like this really intense chin strap. For whatever reason, I was like, dude, you look weird. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I feel weird being next to you, and I'm like a weird dude. Oh, well. But anyway, let's see. Oh, yeah. The other reason why I'm holding on to this beard, normally I would shave, but A, I'm like really lazy, especially when like unemployed and have, well, hello. I have like no reason to shave. So in my case, I had 2 reasons to shave prior to growing this. 1, Shell. Shell prefers me to be fairly clean shaven. 2, I was working at the time, and I had no idea if they had, like, preferences as far... Okay. Yes. I had no idea if they had preferences as far as, like, basic personal appearance, apart from, like, cleanliness, obviously. But I figured, you know, trying to stay presentable is a good thing. And that's just kind of my, like, base policy for, you know, facial hair and whatnot. Oh, I guess we fell at a level. Didn't even realize it dig down. Oh, right, the shovel will actually dig down randomly. But so, now that I am, you know, perpetually unemployed, yay, and Shell is in a different state, I pretty much can grow a beard as much as I want. Luckily, this also becomes kind of a nice betting token, when it comes to streaming with other YouTubers and, like, doing well, I guess streaming YouTube videos, whatever. So we did like a whole speedrunners competition thing, which I still have the footage for, and I've been considering trying to like put that up on YouTube somehow. Unfortunately, the sound balancing was awful. What even hit me there? Oh, it was one of the freaking eyeball things. Spawned in right next to me. I feel like that's always unfair when it happens. Oh well, not the end of the world. But it's kind of neat having a beard, because it's like, alright, you know, I've effectively got a token for betting. So, you know, loser shaves his beard. Except for me, I haven't had my beard for longer than 2 months now. So I don't really have, like, a whole lot of personal ownership over the thing, apart from, like, yeah, it's my beard. And I've been growing it for a while. But, one of the guys we were playing with is Dragas, who's, God, he exploded channel-wise almost immediately after we did that stream. And I have not done anything with him since. But so, he was, like, super afraid he was going to have to shave his head because he didn't want to shave his beard. And it's like, well, this is, I don't know. I don't think I will ever have that much of an emotional connection to my hair. But then again, I'm the guy that, like, dyed my hair, you know, hot neon pink in college because I could. Repeatedly, actually. I dye my beard, but you're not supposed to do that. Also, I don't think my beard is thick enough for that to actually look, like, at all good. It mostly just look like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say pink pubes, but close-ish? I don't even know. Alright, this is the reason why I like Alia. Freaking ice levels? No problem. Water levels? Infinite flight. It's nice. Means you don't have to worry about just rocketing off along the screen. Of course, I still do move pretty freaking far, because the drill cannon has a lot more kickback than I remember it originally having. Then again, I think of all of the weapons, it was the last one I got. Let's see. But, yeah, no, I had, as far as, like, hair color goes, I mean, I was an artist, so go figure. Some amount of, like, body experimentation is to be expected. Though, okay. This is hairy. At least we get health missiles and more toxic flasks. But so, you know, some amount of, like, weird shit has to be done. It's, like, I don't know, contractually obligated to do that kind of thing? I don't even know. But, effectively what happened was one day, I want to say the end of my freshman year? Or was it sophomore year? I honestly don't remember. One of my friends was, I think, oh yeah, I was, like, super nocturnal for, like, an entire semester. And, oh shit, damn it, already? Alright, let's just try that again. Same character, same everything. Please be the same weapon. I was playing it really risky with that saw blade. It does a lot of damage when you haven't leveled up that much and don't have any base healing abilities. And wow, same combo. What are the chances of that? But so one of my female friends was like, "Hey, we're dyeing people's hairs. You wanna or dyeing people's hair, you know, to practice. Do you wanna go blonde?" And I'm like, "Okay." And to be fair, I'm already kind of a sandy blonde, so it, like, was not that much of a transition. But going from sandy blonde to, like, pure platinum blonde looks pretty doofy. But I did it, and I kept it up for a while. And then I think at some point I was just like, alright, I want to have, like, an actual hair color here. Let's try... I think I started with, like, oh... Actually, you know what happened? We actually dyed it blue first, but it looked awful. Because, yeah, that was what it was. So, we didn't actually bleach my hair beforehand. I didn't actually bleach my hair beforehand. Yeah, Dragas is at almost, well, pretty much 55,000 subs. It's ridiculous. But so, we didn't bleach my hair beforehand. We actually just ended up bleaching it blue. Problem was, that looked awful. It looked real bad, because, like, the first couple days, it was, like, actually this really, really nice, like, turquoisey blue. Tealy blue? I don't even know. But unfortunately, since we hadn't bleached beforehand, the color really didn't stick. So it ended up just turning into this kind of, like, muddy green. That's when I bleached my hair completely. And went, like, super blonde, and it was kind of fun. And then from there, I was trying to, like, find other hair dyes that actually last for a while. Because, like, the nice green-blue to, just absolute swamp muck color was about a week and a half. Like, that is not reasonable as far as, like, hair dye length. So eventually I came across, like, a semi-permanent dye that was, like, hot pink. And the problem is, like, even the hot pink faded, so it wasn't, like, hot pink all the time. So it ended up, yep, time to leave. What ended up being was, it switched from, like, hot pink to kind of a pale pink or salmon color, kind of depending on when I had these specific dye jobs. But a lot of people couldn't even remember what I looked like. They could just remember that I had really pink hair for quite a while, and it was actually kind of funny, because I had a friend, and she didn't see me because she graduated, but so she only knew me when I had pink hair, and so I actually applied for a job at her place, like at her company, you know, the Nickelodeon job that I talk about sometimes. So I applied for a job at that company. I get there, and she's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, you referred me to this job." And she thought about it for like a good 5 minutes, came back, and she's like, "Oh, you know, you're Wander. Oh." And apparently just the fact that I didn't have pink hair anymore threw her off just so substantially, that it was just that, like, impactful that I had pink hair, that she actually forgot everything else about me. And so the moment I stopped being pink-haired was the moment, you know, I stopped being memorable in her mind, which was weird and funny. But I don't know. I may dye my hair again, probably before I have kids or whatever. God, I didn't even want to think about that. But that's probably after either I go. Actually, you know what? That would probably be like depending on like how YouTube and stuff goes, that'll probably be like a donation tier for either Patreon or like a charity thing. I really want to do an Extra Life charity stream. I think that would be an absolute blast. I just have to figure out when that would be viable for like me and other people. But still, let's see what else do we got around here. Not a whole lot of items though. I had some really good stuff the last run. Now we've just got armor, which is nice, because it's definitely keeping me from death. Then again, I'm also playing smarter, so we got that going for us. All right. Yeah. Also, tend not to do like any other crazy things with my body. Like, I don't have any tattoos, and I don't have any piercings. I really, like, it's not that I don't like believe in them, and maybe I get a tattoo, but I don't really like pain that much. So tattoos seem kind of off the table. Same thing with piercings. And there aren't really any other kind of like popularized body mods that you can do without being like really ridiculous. And I'm a ridiculous dude, but I like being at least looking normal. I like blending in with normal people when I don't want to be abnormal, if that makes sense. Even though, like, I say I'm weird, but like, there are a lot weirder people. I mean, I've definitely recounted stories of like odd dudes on the internet and off the internet and whatever. Man. Back to that Dragast thing, though, that I was mentioning, you know, 55,000 subs. I met him when he was, like, at, I want to say about 5,000. Really started interacting with him when he was at, what, 10, 15,000? And now he's just, like, all sorts of, there's all sorts of large, just because of one game, really. And that's like, such a fascinating thing for me. I've mentioned the past couple episodes that a lot of people have started following me as a result of, Bisnap playing Vagante and like Northern Lion doing Armello and a couple other things like that. And it was such a... Yeah, let's blow you up and hope we don't... Okay, good. It dropped the box. Death. And please don't have a rock thing show up behind me. Thank you. Oh, hello. Well, let's get whatever's in here. Windleaf. Hey, can't complain about that. Someday I hope to get 2 of those. Like, I'd love to have a whole boatload of wind leaves along the way. I think that would be really funny. But growth in YouTube is such, like, an odd thing. And, like, I will just continually marvel about this. And, like, people are asking me about, like, reviewing indie games and stuff like that. And it's like, it is just the most insane system I have ever seen as far as like growth. And like the obvious thing is you cover a game before anybody else, you get growth, but like search metrics and whatnot. And it's always weird like watching people grow. Like every once in a while I think, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing brilliantly here. And then I'll take a look at my friend, you know, my friend Keith or Sebastian SB, and he's, you know, still a good 300 to 500 subs ahead of me, and it's like, but I guess the reality of the situation is he's a little bit more consistent than I am, and he's also can do day one Let's Plays of a lot of like other stuff. Let's see. How many subs am I at right now? 16, give or take. Last I checked, I was at that number. I think? I passed 1,600 today, 1,600. I've been growing pretty fast the past couple days, which is awesome. But unfortunately, like, actually, I can talk about this. Let's see. But as far as like as far as growth on YouTube goes, oh, interesting. The oh shit, that's gonna explode, isn't it? Oh, hello. Already spread shot. Nice. But one of the interesting things about like growth is, like I mentioned, you cover a big game, you get a growth spurt, but it's a roller coaster. And once you've done like enough YouTube, I say it like some kind of weirdo drug. But once you've done like enough Let's Playing, YouTubing, whatever, and like experienced growth, it actually becomes this almost insane. I'm not gonna say like an arc. It's a roller coaster. That's what it is. It's this insane roller coaster of just like ups and downs. And after a certain point, like my mood actually is highly dependent on how that. Oh shoot! Hello. I don't think I have toxic for you. Oh boy. He died. Alright. But it becomes this, like, arc, well, this roller coaster of both emotions and, like, growth. Where, like, I will be growing really fast one week and then barely grow at all another week. And, like, luckily, the larger I get, the faster I'm going to grow. But obviously, you know, well, all growth is exponential on YouTube for the most part, unless you do something particularly terrible. Or at least, you know, even if you do something terrible, you still have some amount of growth. But like, you get really addicted to growth, and it gets like really depressing when you're not growing anymore. So I mentioned like the whole Bisnap thing. To some degree, I'm almost like leery of this sort of thing happening, just because I know it happens, and I'm gonna have like a bit of a downer period. I've gotten kind of lucky here, where like, if you can kind of chain the roller coaster properly, you can kind of keep going in a generally upward direction, where it's like everything is upward. It's just some days are like even more upwards than others. But I guess after a certain point that the, you know, less upward days are eventually just going to be seen as not downward days, but, you know, the shitty days. And you're always just kind of looking for the next fix of viewers and subscribers and stuff like that. It's weird. It's addictive. Part of the reason why I like doing Twitch, for example, and wow, we've got 34 people still hanging out tonight. Nice. But the nice thing about Twitch, and one of the reasons why I like it so much, is it's such a consistent thing. Because unlike in YouTube, where growth is like really, really start-stoppy, depending on like how you cover things. Because you know what? Not a whole lot of people are going to be finding me a la Tower of Guns anymore. It's just, it's a guarantee. It's just nobody's really looking for that game comparatively anymore. Because the game came out a year ago in about a week. 2 weeks, give or take. E3, not E3, PAX East, I think, is the 1 year reunion. I should see if I can find, I should see if I can find, Joe for that, just because it would be kind of neat to congratulate him. And actually see him in person, as weird as that would be. Alright, I have like enough drill power to fire these guys off into the ceiling, which is cool. But like, not a lot of people are looking for Tower of Guns anymore, though it still happens. Like, people still look for the series. And the cool thing is, like, anybody that finds me that's new will probably end up finding that series eventually and be like, oh yeah, this game's awesome. Let's go watch them. Also extraordinarily long. I've gotten a lot of comments on just like how much content I put out, which is like, alright, I like this. You know, people complimenting me for like just the insane output that I have. Because I get a lot of shit for that from some people. Not many though. A lot of other YouTubers just respond with surprise. But like, as far as growth goes, it's like, I'm dreading when everything slows down, because like, man, you know, I want to be huge. And so the nice thing about Twitch, for example, is, you know, there's always people hanging out. Somebody's pulling out guns and bullets. Unfortunately, I play a lot of games where it's, like, hard for me to pay attention to what's going on. But, so, like, you know, consistently it's a lot of the same people. So it's kind of this, like, friendly environment that I can always come back to. And it's true of the comments, too. Shit, this is a messy stage. I should probably clear this out before anything else happens. At least we're shoveling fast enough that we can kind of just hang out mid-air. Never mind. Doesn't actually work that way. Okay. At least the drill cannon, like, spread shot drill cannon is redonkulous. Okay, good. Explosions cleared my way. And I fell down by accident. Oh well, not the end of the world. But the nice thing about Twitch is, like, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get 10 to 15, well, not even 10 to 15, 5 to 10 new followers a night. And that doesn't always translate to viewers, but whatever, who cares? It's just kind of a nice, safe place. Now, unfortunately, as far as Catacomb Kids go, and a lot of people are asking about, saying Vagante or Catacomb Kids is, Cavern Kings, still not listed on Twitch, because Giant Bomb has yet to even mention Cavern Kings on their system. It's very disappointing, because that means, until they do, oh shit, shields, yes! Until they do, I'm never actually going to be able to list this game on Twitch. So everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, Vagante. I say, Vagante, what is this game? And lies. Oh well, not the end of the world. Oh, I did not fall down. I'm trying to, like, pay attention kind of at the beginning and ends of each level, just because, like I've mentioned, I have to keep my eyes on this. Zip, well, zip zop, zippity zop. At least I can go up. Damn it! What's with all these freaking... Alright, there goes my shield. At least I have a shield. Ah! I'm just hurtling through the air all sorts of places. Oh shit, really? There we go. Silver chest height. Aha! That was absolutely worth it. At first I was just like, you know, is it worth it? And the answer is yeah. For double shovel, absolutely worth it. I have no healing items yet, do I? Oh, I got one Heart of Belial, which is almost nothing. It barely increases my base health regeneration. Shit, that's a lot of rocks in there. Let's see if I can go say hi. Hello! You bastards. Oh, sweet health. Yes! No healing items, but still. Hey, Crimes Zorix. Freaking. That's the one problem with Twitch. I'm never ever going to be able to pronounce everybody's usernames. Just baseline. Okay, finally. Toxic. Yes. But I think this is going to be the run that the last run wasn't quite. Oh, sweet. More black hole boxes. Need that shit. Yeah. Ooh. Gilded Rod. No guarantee. Okay. I was gonna say no guarantee if we're gonna get it or not, but looks like we're okay. Alright. Man, I like how relaxing this game is. Like, my one problem with Vagante and Tower of Guns and Catacomb Kids is... Catacomb Kids is a little bit more consistent just because there's no... Like, the loot tables aren't that drastic. But Cavern Kings, almost no runs will give you just complete trash for items. It's very consistent. It's like, alright, you're gonna get all sorts of stuff. Is it gonna be the best of stuff or the worst of stuff? I don't even know. But you play well, you're gonna do well. And I like that. Of course, it does kind of ruin the difficulty scaling, but whatever. I don't really care. It's kind of my nice roguelike to play after all other roguelikes have gotten, like, super stressful for me. Alright, anything else around here? Does not look like it. Let's see. Now we've got rocks aplenty and stuff like this. But, like I said, I'm trying to look at chat a little bit more often while I'm playing these games, but, like, even though I just said that this game is, like, super casual in comparison, I look away for 1 second, I'm going to get very close to death. Vagante is at least a little bit better, because you can have, like, nice little quiet spots. But less so here. Oh, well, oh, hello. I was wondering where that chest went. Let's grab it before it decides to go any further. And unfortunately, it's the Plague Scarab. There are 3 beetles in this game, 2 of which give, like, super nice items. The last one, less so, I think. Kind of hard to tell. I didn't exactly look at the description on that one, but I think that's the one that shoots beetles out when you kill enemies. I don't honestly know. I've never actually seen that one in effect. Also, I've never actually gotten any of the golden guns in this game. I don't think they've been implemented yet, though. So there's that. I wonder how you get them in Nuclear Throne. Probably by winning, considering that is, like, one of the few things that I just cannot do for the life of me. Oh, well. Now, we're already up to level 15, so, like, we're kicking some serious ass. Our health is almost completely down. Actually, you know what? I haven't gotten a single hero sword, come to think of it. Not a one. Odd. Alright. That's no big deal. Get the plier. Ooh, shields. Yes. Let's get the pliers first before they disappear. More knives, and looks like we've got at least a couple more. Yeah, missiles. This is going to be a nice run. Yeah, I have yet to get a single Dracula Blood. Oh, no, I finally got a hero sword. Right in there. Oh, the golden car is how you get a golden gun. Good to know. I have... Oh, do I? Interesting. I other things that I don't have yet. I don't have any extra jumps. At least, yeah, I guess I don't notice because Alien jumps like a champion comparatively. Oh, right. Also, the cards... You know how, like, whenever I'm doing a particularly long run and we start, like, fighting things that, like, lag the game to all hell and back? Apparently it's trying to figure out the card effect. Didn't even know that. Could be wrong about that one, too. I think somebody told me that. And I always have to take what tips people give me with a grain of salt, because I've gotten many misinformed or ill-informed tips along the way that I then take to heart, and then it kind of screws me over. Oh well, either way. Oh man. Please do not talk about mug brownies. Not exactly rant. Please don't kill myself. Okay, I don't even know why I went for all this money. That was close. And very foolhardy. But so, I've mentioned that, you know, I live with my folks for the time being. Triple shovel. Yeah. But so I live with my folks for the time being. And, like, no shame in that. At least I have no shame. It's kind of nice here. But so, I almost never have dessert anymore. It's very odd. For me, dessert is a... Oh, shoot. I wonder if you could just stack a bunch of keys on an enemy. You probably could. Looked like I had that ability. But I almost never have dessert anymore. A, it's midwinter, so, like, ice cream's kind of out. And, like, most other basic types of desserts are just not a thing. That we make in this house, which is a shame because my mother makes like absolutely amazing chocolate chip cookies. But so, I don't think I've had a brownie. I don't think I've had like a homemade brownie because I don't really count bakery brownies or grocery store brownies because they're generally kind of awful. Oh boy. But I don't think I've had like a legitimate brownie in years. And so, like, I sort of have withdrawals from, like, confectionery goods. And, like, at the same time, I don't have a whole lot of regrets as far as it goes, because, like, I am losing weight. It is nice. I haven't been this light since high school. You really do gain a lot of weight in college if you're not careful. I went from... I started at 185. Went up to... Actually, I don't think I gained a whole lot of weight my freshman year. Which was kind of nice. Then went home for the summer, dropped down to 162, and then went all the way up to 200 sophomore year, because sophomore year was a pain in the ass. It was messy and insane. And now I'm finally just starting to get down below it. Croatia was nice. I went from 190 down to 180, but then working at Nickelodeon was brutal yet again, so it's like, alright, my personal weight is a bit of a roller coaster. And so things like brownies and cake. Then again, I do not like cake. The extent of cake that I enjoy is red velvet cake. I think that's the only cake I like, and that's only because of the frosting. Most other cakes are just too sugary. Actually, I have a problem where if I'm eating something that's like has just too much basic white sugar in it, or brown sugar, my teeth just start hurting. Chocolate I can get away with. Why did I even leave? I don't even know. I guess we're pretty close to level 20, but still. Well, that... guess I'll get that on the next stage. No, get out of my way. I really hate how those eyeball spawners will actually spawn directly inside you. Like, they're the only enemies that do so, because everybody else comes in or out through the exits. For a second, I thought the black hole box was spawning enemies on me, too, and it's like, et tu, brute? But no. Or et tu, parasite, considering this game. But still. But... yeah, I don't know. I guess part of it is I also don't experiment that much with, like, desserts. Because part of it is, like, as far as baking goes, I am the baker in my house. And so if I'm not baking it, it doesn't get made. So my mother makes, like, a lot of, like, super vegetarian stuff, and I make a lot of breads. So yesterday I made, actually, I guess my equivalent of dessert is rye bread, of all things. It's like a super treat, because if you've ever made, like, really good rye bread before, it's fairly involved, comparatively. Sourdough is even more so, but I've given up on sourdough. That is just too much work. I'd love the silver chest, but I'm currently just beset by enemies. Ooh, sweet. Multiple clumps of moss. Those are gonna give us all sorts of health. But so, for, like, Swedish rye, because that's the stuff I make. I'm not talking about, like, the pseudo-pumpernickel rye, whatever it's called, that, like, most people in America have. Swedish rye involves, like, molasses, syrup, which is effectively just brown sugar melted down, I think, orange peel, and, like, a bunch of spices in it. So you end up with these, like, extraordinarily sweet loaves of bread, but it's not, like, sickly sweet. It's kind of like, I mean, it is pretty molassesy, but it's, like, super good, especially with butter on it. Or, I also make, like, rosemary wheat bread, which is kind of nice, because what I do is, I really just like buttered bread. I don't do a whole lot of, like, peanut butter and jelly on bread, because I actually prefer peanut butter and jelly on tortilla, of all things, actually. For whatever reason. I guess it's just, I don't actually know. I guess that's just what my mother would send me, because my mother almost never bought. Actually, that's it. So the reason why I never have peanut butter and jelly on regular bread is because I almost never buy store-bought bread. So, like, why would I ever use my, like, nice, very well done homemade bread for just a couple of peanut butter and jellies? Unless it was, like, super special jelly or super special peanut butter, it's not worth it. Whereas, like, butter just kind of enhances the flavor, so there's that. Whereas I feel peanut butter and jelly overrides the flavor. Why am I even I'm very hungry. That's why I'm talking about food. Sorry if you guys are hungry. But yeah, so I just have, like, basic butter bread. Holy shit, there's a lot of loot containers. And then the level blows up on me. Great. But so, for the rosemary wheat bread, I usually just butter that too. But I put a little bit of honey on it too, which makes it really good. Like, just a little bit, so it's effectively kind of like churned honey butter, as opposed to, like, the pure stuff, which is like, alright, this is just effectively honey that's just crystallized and turned into a thick goop instead of a thick goop. But so I really enjoy having that. And the thing with, like, the wheat bread is, it takes me about, I want to say about 10 minutes to put together 2 loaves of bread. Pretty much double it for every resource. It's damn cheap. I only do it during the winter, though, because, boy, is it hot in my house. So, I think I've mentioned this before, that, like, I generally do not have a heated house. Oh, shit, there's a knife over here. Didn't even realize it. Alright. But, like, my family just does not heat their house. After a certain point of, like, my mother walking into the room to find me just bundled in blankets and miserable, she bought me a space heater, which was nice. And, you know, the deal is she gets that as soon as I move out. But, like, house is never heated. We don't even have an AC unit, so this house is, like, subject to the extreme temperatures of the seasons. And, like, we never let it go below X temperature, but it still gets quite cold. Hello, what are you? Randomly fling a grenade that stuns enemies. Huh. You know, there are a lot of items in this game that I don't think I've ever even seen them proc, because there's just too much shit going on. Alright. But yeah, so I have, like, all sorts of... Oh, hello, finally a drill. Good timing, too. But so I just generally make all sorts of bread along the way. I've been experimenting, too. I was trying to make, like, a milk and honey bread, which is quite good. Unfortunately, milk and honey bread is pretty much worthless with butter, because it just ends up being too sweet. So I found it's, like, only viable if I'm going to be having sandwiches. And, like, good sandwiches, not, like, cheap ones. Or BLTs, especially. BLTs are really good on milk and honey bread. Because you pretty much just... it is good. That's, like, the only meat we eat around my house. Except for duck, actually. My mom knows I love duck, so we get duck very occasionally. Because I've mentioned, like, my family is vegetarian, but not actually vegetarian. They're just the stingiest people in the universe. So it's like, alright, well, we could get meat, but meat is also, like, you know, $2 to $3 a pound. Why would we ever buy meat? Mind you, my dad makes a fair amount of money via military contracts for, you know, MIT and stuff, and my mom is like an ace investor. They just do not spend money, which to some degree I actually really recognize the wisdom of. It's like, all right, you know, we can afford all of these nice things, you know, send my brother and I to college, no debt, and, you know, the little bits count, so, you know, not buying steak all the time. And actually, the other thing is, like, being super aesthetic about it. Or I guess Spartan is a little bit more, yeah, I would say Spartan is probably the better word. There's a lot of words that you can use, like, 90% of the time. And I always get kind of flubbed up on all of them. But, like, because we're so Spartan about it, it's like, when we do have BLTs, it's, like, super treat day. Whereas, I know a number of people that are like, oh yeah, I want to have a BLT. And they'll just go out and get a BLT. And it's like, man, that's just become regular for you. For me, it's, like, truly special. But, let's see. How do you make a dodge roll wander? What even? But, yeah. No, as far as meat goes, like, duck is just my favorite. I want to try goose someday. I really want to. And the crazy part is, like, all of my relatives are goose hunters. But we've just never, ever been in Minnesota during hunting season. So, also deer hunters. Yeah, geese and ducks. They hunt those in, like, copious quantities. Have freezers full of... Oh, shit. God, I hate it when those things spawn below me. But, yeah, we've just never been there during hunting season. So it's like, alright, we got no meat for you. And it's like, oh man, I really wanted to try venison. Oh well. I hate the fact that an enemy can spawn inside you and kill you. It's a mess. Alright, I'm gonna do one run with Entite. We're gonna practice this shit. However, options. Nope. Oh, actually, screen shake is going to be... Huh. Wow, that is... Alright, edit. Oh, back. Create. Create profile. This, we'll call it Entite. Back. Edit, Entite. Left, right. Range of melee, jump, use. So, actually, there's really not much I can do here. Unless... I wonder... What if I try this? I gotta see if this even works. Oh, controls. This is the weirdest. Okay, we're gonna try Entite for the time being. This is probably a terrible idea. This is gonna be really interesting, though. So effectively what I've done is bound my, Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. Alright, let's go back to controls. Default keyboard and mouse. I was thinking I could bind it to right-click, but this is just going to be too messy otherwise, because I'm not going to be able to, like, shoot... Oh, shit. Well, that was fast. Unfortunately, as far as Entite goes, is, like, there's no way to, like... His No. His teleport is his jump. That is it. But god damn it, I don't want that. There's no way of, like, doing it in any other situation, which is super shitty, all things considered. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Turn off, no, dynamic camera. Zoom. Now, I'm gonna have to pay attention to, like, where I am and what I'm doing, but... Well, that was fast. And shitty. This is why I don't like playing Entite that much. I'm gonna give it one more go, but chances are I'm gonna have to do like a whole stream dedicated to just failing at Entite. Because I like the idea of him, but I think with Entite, if he had to jump and teleport and he just had shit health, I'd like him so much more. But the other problem is, like, most weapon sets are just totally unfeasible considering his situation. Because you can't jump. Period. Like, maybe if he just had a really shitty jump. Or more health. Maybe that would help. I don't freaking know. Oh, hello. It's also very easy for me to forget what I'm doing. And, like, try and jump here. And, like, I think part of the problem is, like, aiming where to teleport to is absolutely mapped to where you're shooting at. So if you want to teleport away while shooting at things, it just doesn't work. I don't even know. Someday. Yeah, using the kinetic fist, I could jump, but there'd be no way of, like, correcting my course. So if the problem with the kinetic fist is it's very bad for arresting falls, it's very good for getting places. So while I would maybe be able to, you know, get to where I need to go, chances are it would just result in abject failure. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, old college try, willing to give it. Kind of wish I had the drill for this one, all things considered, but you know what, we'll see what happens. Because Entite is not easy to play. He's kind of like Melting, but even harder. Wonder what people want me to play after this. I'll figure that one out. But yeah, this is all sorts of messy. Come after me. Unfortunately, this is a shitty part. Since Entite is so weak, I pretty much need to wait until all of the enemies come after me, and then it's just like, alright. Takes forever. Really, why am I even walking here? I got teleportation. Let's just leave. Nobody else is going to spawn in a useful manner. I guess if I'm, like, super careful, it might be viable. It's just going to be very hard to do this effectively. What we need is, like, shields and stuff. Also, I kind of wish that I wish the cursor was more accurate. Like, purely for Entite, it was a circle, showing exactly like a crosshair. I think if we also had a crosshair for, like, how Entite attacks, we'd be in a really solid situation. Probably not, though. I don't even know. It doesn't look like we have anything else here, but yeah, we've only got one Resplendent Vial. At least we're not going to have to worry about money too much. But either way, down we go. Because everything else is going to end up... Oh, that sucks a little. Unfortunately, the other problem we're going to run into is purely... Oh, hey, got another thing. We hit, like, water levels, and it's like, alright, I can totally not swim here. Oh, well. I feel like I'm belly aching for no good reason, but at the same time, Entite is very hard. Oh, hey, didn't even notice that there. At least in the water levels, I can actually just kind of float. Never mind. Oh. Weird. Okay, never mind. I thought for a second that we'd, like, fall nigh instantaneously after teleporting. I was wondering about that. Yeah, actually, if Entite had a feather fall, I think that would also be amazing. Unfortunately, there's no such thing in this game. Oh, hello. Unfortunately, the rock people are going to kick my ass. As is all of the ice world mechanics. The sliding is brutal. God damn it, really? Alright, I give that. I'm giving up. This is not fun. So I'll see you guys on the next episode of Cavern Kings, and as always, thanks for watching.